Hey Meryl, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. So the show to me is very interesting because I went to school in Boone, North Carolina.
Oh,
So all of my questions I planned for today are going to be about North Carolina now. But I know the show doesn't film there, but what was kind of like the thought process on the production side of things to make it as kind of true to that area and especially like the Blowing Rock area where it's supposed to be set, to like how did you guys kind of plan bringing all of that to life in the show?
it's funny because one of our executives is from Boone, North Carolina as well. But we actually thought about trying to move the show to North Carolina when the show itself went there, but it was just too expensive. And also at the end of the day, we kind of felt like we didn't want to leave our crew and wanted to stay in Scotland. But our art department and everyone else tries very hard. It is hard sometimes to find things in Scotland that look like North Carolina, but it's not. The areas we don't have as much problem is obviously the landscape, because
Mhm.
there are a lot of similarities. It's more the building structure. Obviously, and especially in the 1700s, Scotland is so stone based, and in 1700s in North Carolina, it was more wood and other materials. So I think our art department has done a pretty fabulous job, resurrecting certain places, and making it look like reminiscent of North Carolina.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it was in last season when they were building the one cottage. I was like, yeah, I
Yeah,
could see that in North
exactly.
Carolina.
Yeah.
But it is also funny too, like in this first episode of this season, it has one of my favorite like future jokes when Roger is quoting Muhammad Ali and
Oh
then
yeah.
the one guy just is like Ali on the side. And I was like, I loved that little dynamic because it's funny to us, but and like that's happened throughout the series as a whole. But what has been your favorite little moment of like bringing the modern age back into the 1700s that they kind of get away with because they know everyone they're talking to would be like long gone by the time it would be relevant to them.
Oh God, I'm trying to think. I feel like in past seasons we've done that. It's kind of like where Claire and Brianna talk about what they miss, like in terms of like Carmi's burgers or whatever it might be. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if I have a favorite moment. I know though, one of the things I always loved in Diana's books though is she never like, I think if I was a time traveler and I went back to the past, I would hope I wouldn't go up to someone and be like, where's the nearest ATM? Or, do you know what I mean? You'd be
Yeah.
smart about it. You wouldn't just come out. And I like Diana does that. There's not kind of people walking up and or talking about the future with people who don't know what you're talking about. So I think we've done a pretty good job there. And I think Diana obviously following her lead.
Yeah. And I do think it's so funny because it's like, yes, they go back in time for love, but I'm like, I don't know, you could get me to go back to the
Oh my God, the
1700s for,
bathroom situation alone would be like absolutely not.
yeah,
I would have been killed in 2 seconds or been shuffled off to the brothel.
yeah, I would also have been in jail for
Yeah.
and be like, I didn't know what I did. But obviously this season there was a lot riding after the end of season 6, going into season 7. What are you most excited for fans to get to see in season 7?
Oh my God, I don't know what I can talk about that won't be a spoiler, but I just think there are going to be so many fan favorite moments, and I'm just trying to think in the first few episodes to try not to be spoilery. But I think there's some Brianna Jamie moment that I'm very excited people see, and we saw a little teaser of it in the trailer. It's from the Happiest Place on Earth episode, where they have a little conversation. It's called the Firefly scene. There's I'm trying to think of anything specific without spoilering, but I just think we tried very hard to take the most iconic moments from the books and put them in here. And there are things we've missed. I mean, or things we couldn't do that
Mhm.
I know we'll hear about. But as a whole, I'm very proud of the season and how much ground we covered.
Yeah, fun's not the right word for Outlander, but it
No,
is
but it
like
is. I mean, it is. It's a ride. It's a really
yeah.
crazy ride.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for talking with me today. I appreciate
Thank you
it.
too.
Thanks.